Hello and welcome to Day 2 of the Aeon Drive Tournament. My name is Warning Track and I'm joined by Unknown Availability. We've got lots of hot platforming action ready to go, and if Day 2 is anything like Day 1, it should be pretty thrilling.
I absolutely agree. This is such a phenomenal game. I can't stop talking about it because really, it's coming out September 30th. 4 days actually. 5 days was yesterday. And it's coming out on all these platforms. You got Xbox, PlayStation, Steam, and Switch. So if you want to go wishlist it on Steam, definitely go do that. It's a really good job that they've done on this game. Main mechanic you're going to be seeing is the teleportation dagger, or as I guess my friend here, Warning Track, wants to coin it, the warp dagger.
Yeah, I'm trying to get ahead of that. I want to coin the terminology earlier, mostly out of self-interest, because you said we can't stop talking about it. That's the problem. It's hard to say teleportation dagger, and warp dagger is easier to say. And I don't know about you, my friend. My voice is a little hoarse after doing this a few hours yesterday and coming back today, but luckily I'm wearing my caster's utility belt, which dispenses throat lozenges like they were Pez.
Right, and I have a fridge behind me that has nothing but drinks, so we're good to go.
We're good to go. We need it. We have the real hard job here, right? Talking about people playing the game. Much harder.
Right, than actually playing the game at a high level, right? They got the easy job. We got the hard one.
Yeah. So who has the easy job today? In our first match, it's Artega versus DaveTheEpic04. I guess Dave the Epic 1 through 3 was probably taken. That's who we've got in our first match. Second match is going to be Fluffy Prower versus Sogeron. Those are both top 64 matches. And then the winners, we're doing this a little differently, the winners will face each other for the top 32 round right afterwards. So you get this nice little encapsulation. We're going to settle this little part of the bracket in the next hour.
Which is a very... I like it. I love that because you get all the action right away and you see the top 64, boom, right into the top 32. We know who's going into the top 16 right away. And you know, we're talking about the top. This is literally the top 64 out of 4,000 people who joined this tournament. So this was a big tournament. A big number of people joined this. So these are definitely a really elite group of people. They beat out a lot of people to be here.
Yeah, out of 4,000, that's crazy. That's a really high number, which means everyone here has absolutely earned it. I agree with you completely about the format. I think our tournament tech has leveled up a little bit for this one, and I'd love to see other events follow suit, frankly. The format, by the way, in general, direct elimination, which means you lose and you're out, no second chances. So if either of these players lose right here, they are done. Runners have a set amount of time with unlimited resets to grind for the best time they can for each level. In this case, 10 minutes, although that's going to jump to 30 for the winners in the next round. But you can see there's 10 minutes on the clock there, the best time in the bottom left and bottom right for DaveTheEpic04 and Artega, respectively. And it looks like that game is booting up on the right. We are almost ready to go.
Absolutely. And, you know, it sounds like a huge jump of time, 10 minutes compared to 30 minutes. That we saw yesterday in the top 32, that it was needed. It really was. They kept just shaving off more time and more time and more time, that these levels can be nitpicked down to less than 6 seconds sometimes. We're looking at these levels are made so well that every possibility is there to get through, and just you never know what you're going to find on another run. So.
Exactly right. Yesterday we saw some very tight, very hype matchups. First, Grandius and MadBro9 went toe-to-toe, shaving seconds off here and there, kind of the straightforward thing you'd expect given this format. But then later we saw something a little different, just as exciting but very different strategically. Vegan Tyler making that key strategic decision to beat Yabble by a hilariously small 0.08 seconds by establishing a quick early time and then taking a different path with the second half of their time that ended up being the difference. Very different each match, but exciting in their own way.
Absolutely. I love that style in this game, and like that's the thing with this teleportation dagger. We're starting the match now. It seems like forgive the timer, it will catch up. We'll figure that out. But you're seeing here that the teleportation dagger can go through these laser doors. There is many of area that it can go through. As long as the dagger is on the screen, you can teleport to it. And if it hits an enemy, it's going to come back to you. But you want it to hit a solid wall of some sort. So you're going to see them aiming at little ledges here and there and using it to their advantage to literally shave off seconds. So
Yeah, and avoid enemies entirely. You can see there's usually not a whole lot of use out of that power sword unless they need to. If they can avoid them entirely, that's usually much, much quicker. And it's not just for getting through tight areas or getting past enemies. At the higher levels, we're already seeing people using it to fall faster because gravity is not sufficient when you're shaving off 1/10 of a second here or there.
absolutely, yeah, and that's what's crazy cool about this dagger. Like the main mechanic being this dagger is so unique with the fact that it's multi-directional. It's not just cardinal directions. You're able to go up, right, down, left, all those different directions. And I love the fact that you're gonna see a lot of quick throws after going up, right, then down, right. You're gonna see a lot of them, the avoidance of the enemies because of those fast throws.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can see we've only got one finish so far. Artega sort of making their way through, scouting it all out. There's their first finish following Dave's. Dave's already got a sub 10. We don't really have a sense, though, in the very beginning, because all this is so new. This game comes out in 4 days. A lot of it's new to the players as well. We don't have a sense of whether or not that's a good time yet. We're going to discover that with you and with the players while this is happening live.
Absolutely. And you're going to see... So there's wall jumps. Let's talk about a lot of the mechanics that are available in this game that you can do. So we talked about the power sword and the teleportation dagger. You have the ability to wall jump. So while the walls are, you can grab it. Now once you grab the wall, you're going to be facing the other direction and you throw the dagger behind you rather than forward, which is where they're going to be wanting to go. There's also a ground dash, I guess you would call it, a slide.
Power slide kind of thing, yeah.
Right, so you're going to see that for them to be able to propel forward most of the time at the very beginning of every level. That's the one thing that I've seen that's common with all the runners. They will use that power slide right away to just propel forward and be able to throw that dagger wherever they need to go right away. And it's looking like Artega's trying to get that up right onto that far wall. Actually, no, go up. I didn't even realize that platform was there. I didn't even see it until he just hit it.
Oh man, look at Artega flying through this level. Oh, that was such a clean run so early in their time here.
Oh yeah, and down to 7 minutes. It looks like that was a... God, I missed it because of the pixels.
Darn the pixels. Yeah, but already sub 9, and I think that might have been a slight improvement. And just watching it, there already was not a lot of room for improvement. So they're either going to find a new route or they're going to be shaving 1/10 of a second off. But already, look at this. Look at how close it is right now. 0.05 difference.
That is insane. So what you're seeing at the end of each finish is these runners are going to know who finished faster because they have a literal leaderboard at the end. That's going to be there for the actual game as well, releasing on September 30th on all your favorite platforms. You're going to be able to see that, and you can either take it casually and just be like, hey, look at all those cool times, or you can try to be on that leaderboard. This game is very approachable from a casual standpoint, because like when I was personally playing it, I felt like I didn't need to rush, even though the game counts down. It does the 3, 2, 1, which is only 1 second. It's not 3 seconds. It's 3, 2, 1, boom, go. I never felt rushed in the game. I always felt like I was having a lot of fun still. Never really created that sense of panic that I'm like, I gotta finish now.
Right. Look at this, by the way. Lower bets for both players while we were talking about that. 8.82 for Dave the Epic and 8.23 for Artega, who frankly is just looking a little quicker. What I'm seeing right now is that Dave the Epic is doing some very clean runs, but they're not super fast. There's much less use of the dagger than there is on Artega's side. Artega is looking for optimal solutions, and Dave a little more, let's say, cautious, certainly. And this is something we saw yesterday where, you know, you can put up some pretty good times if you're cautious, if you're not constantly using the dagger, but the winning time was almost always very heavy on the dagger, almost never moving without it for more than a quarter second.
Right. The dagger is by far your fastest mode of travel, and in any section that you can use it on. There's some of these levels that there is a design choice where there's a platform that's underneath a wall, an entire wall, and there's just enough section to be able to hit with the dagger so you can teleport to it and then not hold any direction and just fall. So there's definite thought process in where they've put all these platforms in order for you to just be able to literal nitpick the level and land wherever you need to land.
Yeah, the position of the platforms is sort of a clue as to how the devs maybe want you to try certain things, and the fact that there's a different route available each time. I think there's at least 2 on pretty much all these levels. That, because they're designed that way, you know that these are at least viable. Maybe it'll be faster, maybe it won't, maybe it'll be faster for you, but not for someone else with a different playstyle or different skill set. But theoretically, they should both be potentially viable, and the best runners we've seen have obviously had a tremendous mechanical skill, but they've been willing to explore both of the options.
And right there on screen, you saw Artega. They were falling a little bit because it felt like they'd missed the dagger, but they came right back up and was able to teleport to it. As long as that dagger is still on screen in a wall, you can teleport to it no matter where you're at. Once you pull the dagger off screen, it comes back to you. So if you're falling down a pit, you can still save yourself with that dagger.
And you can see Dave is just consistently getting a little under 9 seconds, but right now I just don't think there's any room for improvement, much more at least, unless they utilize that dagger a little bit more. But it is neck and neck right now, and there's only 3.5 minutes left. I would say both players have come out swinging. That's a new low right there for Dave the Epic, but he's still, I believe, half a second behind. In fact, exactly half a second.
Yeah, and you just got to use that dagger more. That's really where it comes down. You've got to use it in every possibility that you can, and that's where, honestly, that half a second might be coming out at the very beginning, because you see Artega throw up and then throw right.
Yes.
And it cuts out a lot of time in wall jumping, so...
Yeah, you can see there's a jump there. There's jumps before daggers a lot, and I'm looking over at Artega in the exact same move, and they're hitting the dagger right away. I think Artega in particular has a slightly better sense of the dagger's range, maybe. You can see Artega goes under that platform and then onto the wall, whereas Dave the Epic, right here, watch this, they're going to jump, and then hit that platform directly above where that jump took place. Artega is hitting that platform from underneath and then flying over, and that right there, that one difference in move is roughly the half second we're seeing, just as you said.
Yeah, I'm curious. I see them go up. I'm wondering if possibly using the dagger to go right. You see that little section underneath?
Yeah.
I'm wondering if that might, but it looks like there's flying enemy. Those flying enemies are deceptive. They're very deceptive, and if you get close to them, you're probably gonna take a hit. And I've seen people avoid them.
Well, it's funny. You start off facing this tiny little sliver of a platform. I think as soon as you spawn in, you would hit it if you did nothing else but throw the dagger. And I wonder, I don't think we've seen either player try that much. If they did, it was in the initial setup, at least. Less than 2 minutes left, by the way. And oh, we do. Look at this. Dave the Epic. They've shaved just enough off to take a very small lead, 0.06 seconds, closer than the closest match we saw yesterday. Artega has not really improved. Artega looks faster when you watch them. They're utilizing the dagger better, but Dave the Epic has just been so efficient in everything else they've done, and it's gotten them a slight lead.
Yeah, just seeing every step of the way. Never count out your favorite runner. Never count out the favorite runner, because literally, and even though we're coming down to a minute left, that equals 6 more runs. It doesn't matter if there's 60 seconds left. You got 6 more runs to be able to just knock it out, or if you were able to reset fast enough, you still have enough time to be able to shave off, even get below by 8.16. And this commentary is upset at his cat because he literally just knocked something down.
1 minute left. 1 minute left. Cat hype. Let's go. I've got to keep mine outside of the room personally, or they will absolutely interfere with this. They can sense the excitement. They just know I'm yelling. They don't know why. It is so close now. 40 seconds. 1 run is all it takes, and it's not just 1 run, too. It's a short stage, and both runners are consistently hitting around the 8 to 10 second range. So this very much could change at any point in the last 30 seconds here. Just a few more tries. Artega needs something a little better, but I don't see where they can shave things off. There's a little too much jumping in the middle of their run, but everything else is close to flawless. They missed it there at the end. They're only going to have 1, maybe 2 if they're lucky, if they die quick. This might be their last chance, their last run right here. They keep dying at the end. Here it comes. Big moment. Can they hit this time? Can they make it through? Oh, they missed. They did not hit it efficiently, but it did go through. I think that's going to be an 8.3 something, so it's not going to be a new best, and they're not going to have time. I think Dave the Epic has just taken this.
Wow, and the last 2 minutes, Dave the Epic ends up beating Artega, moving on to the top 32. So what that's going to leave us now is we're going to be moving on to Fluffy Prower and the Garen. Sogeron,
yeah.
Sogeron, okay. this commentary did not ask how to pronounce names, so therefore they're horrible at that. But that's going to be another top 64 coming up very, very soon. Please stick around, and then we're going to have the top 32, the winner of Fluffy Prower and Sogaron, going on to face Dave.
What happened?
So thank you very much, folks. Stick around, and we will be right back.
That was a really tight match. I was 100% sure he was going to win. Both of you did a really great
Why
job.
does this translation have so much delay on you
Wait, you
guys?
got 785.
Oh wait, what? Oh, I'm seeing something
Yep.
else.
We're seeing,
Did
I think there was
Artega-
a slight leaderboard issue. I think we missed just one in there, and Artega actually did, I think, clutch this out.
Wait, was that after the timer though?
That's what we're trying to figure out right now. Oh my goodness. Either way, this is just unbearably close.
I'm pretty sure that was after the timer. I'm not gonna yeah.
Okay.
So we do have confirmation from the booth. That is after, unfortunately. So Artega did get a faster time,
Isn't
but
that
the timer
heartbreaking?
was out.
Oh
so
my goodness.
Unfortunately, even though the leaderboard does state Artega at this moment, the timer, the 10-minute timer set for the round of top 64 was out. So Artega, unfortunately, yeah, it was a buzzer beater, and unfortunately that ball bounced and hit the ground and came back and landed back in the goal too late. So shout outs to Artega for actually getting a lower time, but just not in enough time. Dave the Epic is going to be moving on to the top 32. That is 100% confirmed. All right, so once again, stick around. We're going to be going to a top 64 match again with Fluffy Prower and Sogaron. They're going to be facing each other to go into the top 32 to see who faces Dave the Epic 04. Thank you again, folks. We're going to take a quick intermission, and then we will be right back. Don't forget, September 30th, Aeon Drive coming out, Xbox, PlayStation, favorite on Steam, as well as Switch. Thank you very much.